Hello and welcome to the Dance Yourself Brave show, where we get real about the struggles dancers face, from confidence battles to self-doubt, and how dance has the power to make us braver, stronger, and more unstoppable in every area of life. I'm your host, Mariana Santos, founder of Brazily Fitness. And whether you're a seasoned dancer, a dance instructor, dance lover, or someone who's always wanted to dance but feels a little intimidated to start, this show is for you. Expect honest conversations, inspiring stories, and simple ways to bring more dance into your life, whether that's in the studio, on stage, or right in your living room. And if you're a dance instructor, we've got you covered with tips on how to grow your dance business, attract more students, and create a bigger impact through your passion for movement. So if you're ready to step out of your comfort zone, own your movement, and dance yourself brave, let's do this. Hello and welcome to the Dance Yourself Brave show. I'm your host, Mariana Santos. I'm the founder of Brazily Fitness. I'm so excited that I have Jessica Wellington here with me today. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, I'm excited that you're here on the show. So I'm just going to give a little introduction. So Jessica Wellington is a Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania-based dance educator and choreographer with 23 years of professional experience. She is the owner of the Pennsylvania Dance Company, dance educator, and co-author of Livingston's Ballet Dictionary for Kids, which is available on Amazon. So lots of cool stuff to talk about today. So thanks again for being here. So I always like to start from the beginning. So how about you just start with telling us about yourself and especially how you got started with dance?
Sure. I was very young. I don't really remember how I got started, but I was 2 years old, and I'm told that my mom saw that I was flexible just as a little toddler.
Okay.
So I think she wanted to kind of capitalize on the flexibility and sign me up for dance classes. And all the rest is history. I never looked back.
Amazing. So sometimes like people can listen to that story and be like, okay, well, she's been dancing since she was 2, probably super easy for her, second nature. But I'm sure that wasn't the case, right? I'm sure there were some struggles that happened along the way, right? And things that you had to overcome. So why don't we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Dance is not easy.
No.
From the time that you're young to the time that then you go through your body changing and all of that. That's always a struggle because you have to kind of get to know yourself all over again. So in terms of struggles, I dealt with comparison, and that was even before social media really came out. But, if you think about it, we're standing in a classroom with mirrors. So it's so easy to kind of look at other people and kind of compare yourself to them. And even now, as a choreographer and a dance educator, it's easy to kind of compare yourself now with social media because we can see what's out there.
Yeah.
And I still strongly believe in what I do, but there's still like that element of doubt sometimes, like, am I doing everything right? So that's definitely something I've dealt with, but I wouldn't change it for the world.
That's awesome. Yeah. And like you said, with social media, I think that it's getting harder and harder, right, for us to be comfortable with trying new things because we're always comparing our chapter 1 with someone else's like chapter 1,000, right? Because it makes it look like on social media that they have everything figured out, but everyone starts from the beginning, right? So it's a good reminder to just like focus on your journey, no one else's, right? So
Exactly.
what would you say, like this process, like growing up with dance, like how do you think that's affected your life and just really shaped you, like for who you are as a person today?
Dance is everything to me. It is shaped me in every way because it's my oxygen, basically. So obviously you learn life skills like discipline, probably the number one skill that I've learned: discipline, organization, leadership, all of the things that regardless of whether I decided to pursue dance as a career or not, I would have those to take with me for the rest of my life.
Yeah. And that's what it's all about, right? I think that sometimes people think, well, I'm never going to be a professional dancer, so why should I even start dancing? It's like, it's not about that. It's about, like you said, those life skills, right, that you build that you can take with you no matter what career choice happens for you, right? And like, no matter what, they're going to help you in some way, right? So what is one thing that you wish that your students knew about you? maybe something that they'd be surprised to know about?
Well, the first thing that came to my mind was I want them to know how much I care about them, but I also feel like they know that. So
Okay.
I'm not sure. No, I deeply care about them. It's not just when I'm in the studio, it's outside of the studio, and it's even after they leave me. I care about their well-being and, everything about them. So I think they already know that,
Hmm.
but I just want to reiterate that I deeply care because I think, in the industry, I think that there are teachers that kind of come in for a paycheck, and that's not me.
Yeah. Well, what about something else though? Something about you specifically, like maybe a hobby that you have that they'd be like, "Oh, I didn't know like, that she would do that," or something that would just be maybe a little bit of a surprise.
Well, I am creative in many ways. And actually, one of my first entrepreneurial experiences was in my late teen years. I started painting wine glasses and I actually started a company called Salute Stemware. And these wine glasses were sold at a local store here in Hermitage, Pennsylvania, as well as Etsy. So that's something that they might not know about me. And
Okay.
one other thing that's coming to mind is I run marathons. So that's
Okay.
something that is completely different from dance because running is so cardiovascular. And although dance can be, it's little spurts of time
Mhm.
and not, hours on end
Yeah.
like running. So,
That's really interesting. And yeah, an athlete and creative no matter what, and an entrepreneur since a young age, right? So that's really cool that, you found that calling at a young age and you just kept rolling with it, right? So
right.
I'm sure that because you've been teaching for such a long time and you're so care about your students so much, I'm sure you have like 1,000 success stories that you could share with us today of the impact that you've had in your students' lives. And maybe there's a story that stands out to you today, maybe a more recent one that you could share with us.
Yeah, like you said, I have so many students that have gone on to pursue dance or not, but have gone on to be very successful, and that's always amazing. But one that stands out to me the most would be a former student of mine, turned colleague, Olivia Barner. She came to me as a dancer at age 12, and I instantly saw her artistry. And it was really magical to see it grow throughout the years. And then when she graduated high school, she went on to Slippery Rock University, where she pursued a double major in, let's see, exercise science and dance. So then after she graduated with 2 degrees from Slippery Rock, she came back to the Pennsylvania Dance Company and taught for me.
Wow.
And together we co wrote Livington's Ballet Dictionary for Children. And we came up with the name Livington's because her nickname is Liv for Olivia. And my last name is
Wellington.
Wellington. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Livington's Ballet Dictionary for Children. And we wrote that together. And that was such a special, amazing experience. And then she went on to pursue a professional dance career with Whirlwind Dance Company based out of Columbus, Ohio. So to see the whole full circle moment of her coming to me as a child and growing into this and our relation, we're family now.
That's beautiful. And yeah, just I love this is always my favorite question because it's so cool to see the ripple effect of dance, right? Like the fact that you started dancing, you started teaching dance, like that helped her. And if you hadn't been there, who knows where she would be right now, right? So I don't believe in coincidences. And I firmly believe that you were there at the right place exactly when she needed you. So what would you say is the kind of impact you're looking to make in the world through dance or just through everything you do?
I honestly feel like I'm going to get emotional, but I honestly feel like I was born to inspire children through dance. Because now more than ever, girls and boys alike struggle with their confidence. And to be able to inspire and encourage, uplift students through dance, young and old, even adults, it means the world to me.
Yeah.
So
That's incredible. And like I can feel that passion. And like you said, people are lacking confidence like at all ages, right? Especially, the younger generation. I think with social media, which we kind of touched on, but different things, right? Like just the technology has been so helpful in so many ways. I always talk about this, but it's also made people just get used to that instant gratification and think that things should just, they should snap their fingers and get the result that they want. And dance teaches you that that's just not real life, right? You have to have discipline, which you mentioned, right? Like that resilience to keep going. And you need that no matter what path you choose in life. I think it's beautiful that you're so passionate about this because we need this more than ever. And even adults, right? Like we need to find a way to build that confidence, especially. Do you have kids?
I don't have
You don't have
kids.
kids. Okay. So I have a daughter, and I have a lot of moms that come to my classes, and what I hear is that they kind of lose themselves right after they become a mom. All of a sudden, that's who they are. They forget their own personality or who they were before they became a mom. And dance like brings that back to them, right? That confidence and just, so at all ages and no matter what phase you are in life, dance can help. And what do you think? Okay, so I think this answer might be a little bit obvious to you, but what do you think the world needs more of nowadays? Let's say maybe besides dance, because dance is number one.
Yeah, I think that the world needs less judgment, more compassion and empathy. I mean, it's the cliche, but you don't know what people are going through. And, we're all onions, right? With lots of layers, and we're only seeing the highlight reel of everyone's life, but
So
they're all going through things. So I think that that's, if there's one thing that the world needs, is it's less judgment, it's more compassion, it's more empathy, it's more love.
Yeah, I love that. I could not agree more. I think though, if we could figure that out somehow, the world would be a much better place. And hopefully, by you doing what you do, which is spreading inspiration and passion through dance, you're going to have all those people that you're inspiring. They're going to be doing the same thing to people around them. And like I said, that ripple effect can cause amazing things in the world. So this next question, what advice would you give to someone who's just starting to dance or is curious about dance? So maybe they're, a little scared to try, and, keeping in mind that people listening to this podcast, maybe they missed that opportunity to dance as a kid, and, they're a little bit older and, a little bit hesitant because as adults, we become, the self-doubt creeps in more, and, we're more fearful. What would you say?
First and foremost, I would say you're never too old to start dancing. If anyone can dance at any age. And so I guess my biggest advice would be to first of all, take the leap, take the class, then take as many different styles as you can with as many different teachers as you can. You're going to learn something from every teacher, from every style. And maybe maybe you started with ballet and that wasn't your thing, but hip hop is. You really liked it, go for that, but you won't know unless you try. And I just think that, I mean, obviously, I think dance is so amazing, but how cool is it that we use dance to celebrate, right? Like football players score a touchdown and they do a dance. High schools have dances to celebrate, right?
Yeah.
I just think it's so special and we all have it in us. So to be able to take a class to actually learn some technique behind it is amazing.
Yes.
I encourage everyone to do it.
Yeah, I agree. And actually, you just made me think of something. So my family is Brazilian, but I'm here in Canada, right? I was born and raised here. But obviously, Brazil is, part of my brand, and my husband is Brazilian, and we love to watch the World Cup, right? Because soccer is a big thing in Brazil. And I remember that the last World Cup, like there was so much criticism around like the Brazilian team because they kept dancing after each goal or something to celebrate. And I was like, so now we're mad that people are showing that they're happy. Like seriously, why is this a problem? But so it's good to know that it happens in American football too, because I don't really watch it. But see, it's not just the Brazilian soccer players, but like you
Right.
said, dance is for celebration of life. Like you don't have to dance just to have perfect technique, but it's just a way to find joy in everyday situations of your life. It's so powerful, especially when, our life is so hectic, like go, go, go all the time, all these like, work, stress, family, all these things that we have to do. Like sometimes we just need to slow down and dance to just feel alive, right? So that we don't feel like we're just like a robot, just like going through the motions of life. So I love how you said that dance is a celebration. Like it's beautiful. So why
Thank
don't you
you.
share how people can get in touch with you, maybe how they can get your book or anything that you'd like to share here?
Sure. So, yeah, Livington's Ballet Dictionary for Children is available on Amazon, barnesandnoble.com, and target.com. And it's a really great book because it's not only geared toward kids ages 5 to 10, it's also a wonderful teaching tool. We have very inclusive characters, and the characters outline the ballet terms in a fun, poetic way. So that's a really fun book for teachers and students alike. And also, you could find me on Instagram at Jess Wellington 49 and the Pennsylvania Dance Company on Instagram at PA_dance_co.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, Jessica. It was such a nice conversation, and just to hear about your passion for dance and everything you're doing in the world it's so appreciated. And I hope you know how awesome you are.
Well, thank you so much for having me. This has been a wonderful experience, and I'm so glad I could meet with you and talk to you.
Thank you. And hopefully we'll come back for part 2 sometime.
I would love that.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning into the show. If this is your first time listening, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and leave a review, because that's always the best way for other people to hear about the dance movement and the power that it can bring to our lives all across the globe. So thanks again, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks for tuning in to the Dance Yourself Brave show. If today's episode got you hyped, inspired, or just made you want to bust a move, do me a favor, subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who needs to hear today's message. Sharing is caring, after all. And hey, don't forget, your courage is already in you. Sometimes you just gotta dance it out to feel it. Catch you next time. Keep shining and keep dancing yourself brave.